It's a debate that modern football fans have been having over recent years. Who's better, Messi or Ronaldo?
I think in the moment, no doubt, Ronaldo was the best. But Messi, until now, Messi was the best. I think for me, Ronaldo was more important because he was the player who stay to score a goal, to go in front. And I think Ronaldo for Santos will be better.
It wasn't Messi, it wasn't Neymar, it wasn't even Jordan. In 2017, one man stepped into the pressure cooker of football's biggest stages, and didn't just survive, he torched everything in his path. He wasn't playing football, he was delivering death sentences. While Jordan had the flu game, Ronaldo had Munich, Madrid, Cardiff. This is the year Cristiano Ronaldo became the most clutch athlete the world has ever seen. He wasn't human, he was a weapon. In 2017, Cristiano Ronaldo didn't play football, he waged war. When others felt pressure, he smelled blood. Messi had magic, Neymar had flair, but when it mattered most, only one man showed up with a final boss. No emotion, no mercy, just goals. This is a story of a man with noodle hair who turned Champions League nights into executions. This was prime Ronaldo, and he was more clutch than prime Jordan. Messi had magic, Neymar had flair, but Ronaldo, he showed up like inevitability. Champions League nights weren't football matches anymore, they were executions. This is a story of the man who made Europe kneel. This was 2017 Ronaldo, and he was more clutch than prime Jordan. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't have one prime, he had many. 2008, the electric winger who made defenders vanish. 2012, the athletic monster launching missiles from outside the box. 2015, the complete goal machine breaking records on repeat. But no matter how good he was, there was always one shadow, Messi. As Messi collected Ballon d'Ors, trebles, and plazas, Ronaldo was forced to evolve, again and again. By 2017, the rivalry wasn't just about talent anymore, it was about legacy, and Ronaldo was done losing. This was not the Ronaldo the world remembered. Not the flash, not the flair, not the stepovers. This was a Ronaldo who had adapted, or been forced to. He wasn't dancing past 5 defenders anymore. He was walking, waiting, watching. And that scared people. The fans didn't see a smarter player, they saw a fading one. Even Madridistas questioned him. Was the king losing his crown? Meanwhile, Barcelona looked unstoppable. Messi was dazzling, Neymar was dancing, Suarez was feasting, and in the Ballon d'Or race, Ronaldo was slipping. Everyone thought the story was over, but Cristiano didn't care. While the world turned the page, he rewrote the chapter. First in, last out. Gym, pool, recovery, repeat. Machine, obsessed, built different. These weren't just words, they were gospel inside Valdebebas. Cristiano's the first one there. Even on off days, he's trained harder. He's addicted to being the best. Zidane saw it before anyone else. He knew Ronaldo didn't need to run anymore. He just needed the ball, in the right place, at the right time, and then, good luck. He was no longer a winger, he was a weapon, a cold-blooded, precision-engineered one-man firing squad, and Europe had no idea what was coming. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of football's most dominant wide players, ended up becoming a clinical central striker. But was this just tactical, or something deeper? Let's go beneath the surface. Biomechanics, injury, longevity, transformation. In his early years, Ronaldo was unplayable, a nightmare. His game was built on speed, agility, and raw explosiveness. What made his dribbling biomechanics so unique? Fast twitch fibers, rapid acceleration over short bursts. High ankle mobility allowed for vicious cuts and unpredictable movement. Powerful hip flexors created long, explosive strides to break defenders. As a winger, he had space, and he used every inch. But by 2014, something changed. Ronaldo was still dominating, but a chronic knee issue would quietly reshape his game. Patellar tendinopathy, aka the jumper's knee. It limited his explosiveness, reduced his agility, made every burst more painful than the last. The days of flying down the wing, numbered. So, he adapted. Ronaldo began drifting centrally. Not out of convenience, out of necessity. This wasn't a decline, it was a redesign. He started to play smarter, more efficient, more deadly. Heat maps from 2008 to 2020 tell the story, from touchline terror to penalty box predator, and the move, it changed everything. Why going central made sense. Aerial dominance. At 6'2", Ronaldo had the frame of a striker. His leap, unmatched. His timing, ruthless. Lower physical demands. No more constant sprints, no tracking fullbacks, just quick, lethal movements in dangerous areas. Higher XG zones. As a winger, the angles were tighter. Now, he lived where goals are born, inside the box. This wasn't just smart, it was survival. He didn't fight time, he beat it. While others aged and declined, Ronaldo evolved and got even better. The tall winger dilemma. Most elite wingers are short and agile. Low center of gravity equals insane balance. But tall wingers, they face a harsh timeline. High center of gravity makes quick changes of direction harder. More joint stress. Long legs plus explosive sprints equals chronic injuries. Faster decline. Tall players lose their edge sooner as fast twitch fibers fade. Examples? Gareth Bale. Explosive early, declined rapidly post 30. Thierry Henry. Moved central early in his career. Mbappe, already transitioning toward a central role at Madrid. If Ronaldo had stayed wide, he might have burned out by 31. Instead, he extended his prime into myth and became football's deadliest finisher. But what about those headers? Ronaldo didn't just jump, he levitated. How? Tendon stiffness and Achilles elasticity, like a spring, storing and releasing explosive power. Core and hip control. His obliques and hip flexors generate upward torque. Timing and awareness. Reads the ball early, meets it at its peak, mid-air body control. He lost speed, but gained hang time. And with that, came more goals. His evolution wasn't just physical, it was psychological. Self-belief. He sees himself scoring before he shoots. CNS optimization. His deep breath pre-short ritual calms nerves, sharpens focus. Adaptability. He didn't mourn lost abilities, he replaced them. That's why Ronaldo didn't just survive the aging curve, he broke it. The lesson? Ronaldo's transformation is a blueprint. Aging isn't the end, it's an upgrade. Play to your strengths, reinvent your weapons. Don't fight the decline, evolve around it. When defenders saw young Ronaldo, they braced for impact. Now, they don't even see him until the ball's in the net. By the spring of 2017, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't just in form, he was in vengeance mode. Quarterfinal, Bayern Munich. The 5-time European champions. Neuer in goal, Vidal, Thiago, Alonso in midfield. A machine built to win. Bayern strike first, the crowd erupts, but Ronaldo doesn't blink. Then it happens. Goal 1. Ghosts into the box, one-touch finish, equalizer. Goal 2. Tight angle, left foot, clinical. 100th Champions League goal. The Allianz silenced, Munich humbled. But that was just the warm-up. Second leg, Santiago Bernabeu. The hat trick. A leaping header, a left-footed rocket, a poacher's tap-in. 3 goals, ice-cold execution. When the smoke cleared, Bayern were out. And Ronaldo had scored 5 across both legs, against one of the top 3 teams in Europe, against Neuer, and he made it look routine. Semi-final, Atletico Madrid. The king of clean sheets. A Simeone side, disciplined, dirty, and determined. But Ronaldo didn't care about clean sheets, he cared about body counts. First leg, Bernabeu. Another hat trick. Goal 1, a towering header. Goal 2, a left-footed bullet. Goal 3, clinical after breaking the back line. Atletico came to survive. Ronaldo sent them home in pieces. 7 goals in 3 knockout games. No penalties, no rebounds, no flukes. Just precision, just violence. He became the first player ever to score back-to-back hat tricks in the quarter and semifinals. Final, Juventus. The best defense in Europe. 17 games, 3 goals conceded, Buffon unbreached in the knockouts. And still, final, Cardiff. First goal, a devastating strike with the inside of his foot. Low, ruthless, the kind of goal that breaks belief. Second goal, a sweeping counter. Modric whips it low across goal. Ronaldo's movement is perfect. The finish is inevitable. He turns to the camera, arms out, expressionless. Not joy, not surprise, just dominance. 12 goals in the UCL knockout rounds, 10 in the quarters, semis, and final. Top scorer of the competition for the 5th year in a row. First player to score in 3 different Champions League finals. This wasn't just a run, this was an execution tour. Bayern, Atletico, Juventus. Europe's best, left in ruins. And Ronaldo? He never flinched. He walked through fire and left footprints in ash. But someone still lingered. Something domestic, something personal. Because for all of Cristiano Ronaldo's brilliance in Europe, there was always one criticism he couldn't outrun. He's not consistent in La Liga. Since his arrival in 2009, Real Madrid had only won 1 league title. Once. And it haunted him. But in 2016-17, everything changed. Barcelona were showing cracks. Madrid? Relentless. And Ronaldo? He wasn't just part of the team. He was the reason they stayed top. But even in his near-perfect season, there was one scar. The night Messi stole the spotlight. El Clasico, Santiago Bernabeu, April 2017. Score, 2-2, final seconds. Then, Messi. Top of the box, left foot, back of the net. Shirt off, held up to the crowd. Iconic, agonizing. Ronaldo had played well, but on that night, in that moment, Messi owned the screen. It was a reminder, this rivalry was not over. But Ronaldo didn't get angry, he got focused. Zidane had saved him for this. The run-in, fewer minutes in winter, fresher legs in spring. Now, time to unleash hell. Brace versus Sevilla, hat-trick versus Celta Vigo. Goal on the final day versus Malaga to clinch the title. 25 goals in 29 games. Efficient, explosive, elite. For the first time in 5 years, Cristiano Ronaldo was a La Liga champion again. Now, it wasn't just about trophies, it was about immortality. Messi versus Ronaldo was no longer about who had more goals. It was about who had the story. And in 2017, Ronaldo owned it. League champion? Check. Champions League winner? Check. Club World Cup? Check. UCL top scorer? Check. 2 hat-tricks in knockout stages? Check. Messi had stolen a night, but Ronaldo had stolen the year. Paris, December 7th, 2017. Cristiano Ronaldo stands on the podium, clutching Ballon d'Or number 5. Ronaldo 5, Messi 5. The gap? Closed. The throne? Shared. But the narrative? Now it leaned toward the killer, the closer, the king of moments. And he wasn't done. FIFA Best Men's Player, UEFA Best Player in Europe, UEFA Forward of the Year, Champions League top scorer, 15 goals, Spanish Super Cup winner, Club World Cup winner. Not just dominance, devastation. He didn't reclaim the throne with flair, he reclaimed it with fire. In 2008, he announced himself. In 2012, he chased greatness. In 2017, he became legend. There are great seasons, and there are seasons that redefine everything. 2017 wasn't just a peak, it was a declaration. A challenge thrown into the history books. It didn't happen by accident, because by 2017, Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't just a footballer, he was a myth in motion. A machine carved out of obsession. A man who treated pressure like oxygen. What made him so inevitable? The habits, the rituals, the sacrifice. First in the gym, last to leave training, obsessive with sleep, neurotic with nutrition, icy under pressure. Teammates called him a cyborg. Opponents said, "You don't stop him, you just hope he misses." This wasn't talent alone. This was obsession sharpened into ritual. He didn't chase the game, he programmed it. It wasn't just goals, it was when he scored them. He was a master of timing, both on the pitch and off it. Rested for games that mattered. Saved for battles that needed ice, not adrenaline. No wasted movement, no wasted emotion. A finisher, yes, but also a reader of fate. He knew where the game was going. He just got there first. When Bayern needed humbling, he delivered. When Atletico came to survive, he erased them. When Buffon stood tall in the final, he shattered him. When the critics asked for league consistency, he brought fire to the run-in. And when Messi lifted his shirt in Madrid, Ronaldo didn't respond with words. He responded with a season. He didn't blink. He didn't break. He bent the year to his will. Before 2017, the narrative belonged to Messi, the magician, the prodigy, the system god. Ronaldo, he was the rival, the physical beast, the second name in the sentence. But 2017 changed that. Not through flair, through force. Not by out-dribbling him in October, by outlasting him in May. Because here's the truth. Messi dazzled, Ronaldo decided. Messi's greatness lived in accumulation, an orchestra of beautiful moments. Ronaldo's greatness, it arrived in a flash, at the death, with the stakes sky high. He was the storm at the edge of history, and in 2017, that storm took everything. The numbers don't lie. 15 Champions League goals, 12 in the knockouts, 10 in the quarters, semis, and final, 2 hat-tricks in 3 games, league champion, European champion, club world champion, Ballon d'Or number 5, FIFA best, UEFA best in Europe. No player, not even Messi, had packed that much silver, that many moments, and that much meaning into one calendar year. 2017 wasn't just dominance, it was devastation, a cold-blooded dismantling of everything in his path. And he didn't smile through it, he didn't dance, he walked through fire and left no footprints. Young players now study Ronaldo's movement of the ball, his preparation, his psychology, not because he was the most graceful, but because he was the most relentless. He made clutch normal, he made pressure his playground. Ask the defenders who faced him, they'll tell you. He didn't talk trash, he didn't chase headlines, he just waited. And then, bang, 1-0, game over. He wasn't faster anymore, didn't dribble past 5 defenders anymore, but it didn't matter, because he'd evolved beyond the spectacle. What remained was something far more dangerous, a cold finisher, a silent assassin, a leader forged by obsession, a blueprint of longevity, adaptation, and violence. This wasn't about outshining Messi anymore, it was about outlasting him. Years from now, when fans argue over who the greatest really was, they'll mention 2008. They'll mention 2012, but they'll always come back to 2017. The year Cristiano Ronaldo stood tallest. The year he silenced the critics. The year he eclipsed the myth. This wasn't just greatness, it was fear. It was dominance, it was inevitable. Some seasons are filled with stats, some with highlight reels. But some, they echo. Not because of the numbers, but because of how they made you feel. 2017 made you feel like Ronaldo couldn't lose, like gravity didn't apply. Like this man, who once danced on the wing, had become the reaper in the box. From electric prodigy to central force of nature, he didn't just play well, he warped the outcome. He didn't just win matches, he ended eras. And no one, not Bayern, not Atleti, not Buffon, not even Messi, could stop it. Because 2017 wasn't just his peak, it was his final form. You could try to measure it in goals, in hat tricks, in trophies, but that misses the point. You don't measure greatness in numbers, you measure it in fear. And in 2017, Europe feared Cristiano Ronaldo. He had nothing left to prove, and yet he still had one thing left to conquer: the conversation. The throne, the legacy, the GOAT debate. More clutch than Prime Jordan? Is that blasphemy? Maybe, but think about it. Jordan had the flu game, the shot, the last dance. But even Jordan never had a postseason like this. 10 goals in the UCL quarterfinal, semifinal, and final. Back-to-back hat tricks against elite defenses. No penalties, no stat padding, just surgical destruction in football's most unforgiving tournament. All while dragging Madrid to their first league title in 5 years, and doing it under the weight of his own myth. That's not just clutch, that's something rarer. That's ice under the surface of a volcano. Basketball lets you touch the ball every play. Football doesn't. In football, you can go 89 minutes without a sniff, and then be asked to save everything with one touch. That's the chaos Ronaldo mastered, and in 2017, he turned that chaos into choreography. He became inevitable, and in sport, that's the final level, not dominance, inevitability. For years, the Messi-Ronaldo debate was about style. One was the artist, the other, the athlete. But 2017 reframed it, because legacy isn't just about who was prettier to watch. It's about who showed up when history demanded blood. And in 2017, Ronaldo answered that call. Again, and again, and again. There was no trick, no illusion, just obsession, just execution. Zidane once said, "There are no words to describe him, but maybe there are. Inevitable, cold, obsessed, final." In 2008, he introduced himself. In 2012, he chased greatness. But in 2017, he became the measuring stick. The standard, the storm, the silence before the scream. That season didn't just add to his resume, it bent the GOAT conversation in his direction, forever. And maybe that's why it's hard to forget 2017, because for once, even his critics had to sit in silence and admit there's nothing left to say. Not because he said it, because he scored it, because he won it, because he became it. There are great players, there are legendary players, and then there are players who don't just play the game, they define what it means to win it. 2017 was not a season, it was a warning. A warning that if you gave him space, if you gave him time, if you gave him a reason, he would destroy you. The Ballon d'Or? Earned. The headlines? Buried in goals. The debates? Paused. Because in 2017, Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just rise to the moment, he became the moment. You don't become the GOAT by talking about it. You become the GOAT by making the world watch and never forget. This was 2017. This was Prime Ronaldo. And this was a year he was more clutch than Prime Jordan. But Ronaldo has a son in the game, a son who wants to dethrone him as the most clutch footballer in the world. Check out our video as we expose the man who could dethrone Cristiano.